Hello, my name is Alexis Jones, and this is my MDM 620 video rationale for 2021. This is about the Las Vegas Enforcers. So, the Las Vegas Enforcers are an ECHL hockey team that originated in Las Vegas. They are committed to connecting meaningfully with local communities, fans, and game attendees. The hockey season is normally from October to April, so it would be from now until late spring, which correlates well with the high tourism season, which is now until late spring. So Las Vegas Enforcers is not only the only team in Las Vegas. You also have Las Vegas Golden Knights, which is the normal National Hockey League team. And then you have the UNLV Running Rebels, which is a men's basketball team for the University of Nevada. And you have the Las Vegas Legends, which is a men's soccer team. So there's a lot of competitiveness that goes in the sports fan base in Nevada itself. Here we also have the SWOT analysis that was given to us with the brand identity, or not with the brand identity. So it talks about its strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities and threats of all of the other components that make up what could do better, like what could make it better, or like what could threaten it to not have a good time. So from there we have the look and feel. So this is where I originally started with my design. This is the start of the design process of what I think I want it to look like. Here we have the start of the color palette, the lines, the shape. The pattern that I thought most common was the quilt pattern, because quilts, I sort of got my inspiration. When I think of hockey, I think of Canada, it's very stereotypical, but it's very true. So I think of the maple leaf, and I think about their hockey symbol, which I don't know, and I also don't know the team, so it's what I think the hockey symbol is. And from there we have the start of the onlyness statement, and if I had used a texture, I really would have gone for the dry brush texture, because I feel like you can layer the dry brush texture later on in one of my logos. I did try to do the dry brush, and sadly it did not work out well, so I did attempt. From there we have the look and the feel. This is not the look and feel, this is my vision board. I'm so sorry. So this is where you can really see my inspiration from the Canadian hockey team that I still don't know the name of. But as you can see, they want to be restorative, inclusive, competitive, community growth, and budget friendly. And from here you can see how there is a big fan base, and they're dressed like in the same colors or the jerseys as their favorite team. You also see them giving back to the community and just being in there with them, which is really nice. Here we do have the onlyness statement, and we have the start of typography. We also have a picture of a team giving money back to the community, which is really what they want to do. Not just giving money back, but they want to be able to give back in general, whether that be one of the other pictures is a food drive. A lot of people, especially due to COVID, are in need of food, so things like that would be a great opportunity for this team, especially right now. Sketches, yep, and see that there are those. So we have here number 23 is the overlap shapes, and so is 27, although I never chose it. And then the E is number 9. Don't know how these got out of order though. So from there we have the refined sketches. So from those 30, I chose 6. So we see how the coin goes through its cycle of which one. They all have, the ones on the right are the ones that I chose for that specific one. So you see how the E goes from being one thing to another. And then we have the playing card, which I thought would be really nice, because playing cards, it's not just casino, it's not just gambling, like there's other options. And then the Las Vegas Enforcer sign, which I took the inspiration from the big welcome to Las Vegas sign, but for some reason after actually drawing it out, it just did not stick. I didn't like it, and I didn't agree with it. It just wasn't my favorite. And from then we have the merged shapes, how I went from triangles to a hexagon to more triangles to, I don't know what that last shape is. I just started drawing shapes at that point. Then we have the stacked letters, which are really common right now. A lot of people are doing their own home logos. I say home logos because it's really just a TikTok trend of basically using your initials and stacking them on top of each other right now. It could work. It's just not, I don't think that it's for the hockey team. And then the last one is a hand. When I think of enforcement, for some reason I think of a hand, and enforcement also means law, and then it just means a lot of other things. However, I didn't want to do something as cheesy with the hand as everything else. So we went from 30 to 6, and now we're down to 2. So I ended up going in on the coin, which I really do still like. It's still one of my favorites. And then I went in with the hand. So I did like the hand, and I ended up, while going through my research process for the hand, I ended up deciding that I wanted to do E in American Sign Language. So that's how I came up with that. And then I ran into a problem in Illustrator. However, happy accidents occur, because from there we have the style guide where I did choose the E. So from there, in my happy accident, as you can see, that's the logo that I chose to go with. So with that, I didn't want to overwhelm the space, so I stuck to 3 colors. I didn't even use my full color palette, sadly. But there's a few different options. I mean, you could always change the hand. The hand doesn't always have to be brown. It could be blue. It could be that pretty olive green. That's just what I chose to use for the moment. For the logo, clear space, and sizing, the example that was given for our project was Netflix. So how the T in the Netflix is how the space correlates for them, which is actually really smart. So I took the L from Las Vegas and I used it, and if you zoom in really closely, you can see how it's flush against the bottom of the G and the top of the thumb right here. And then if you go down to the wrist part and the top of the F and the E, it's flush against those. For my brand archetype, I wanted to use Everyman. It's a sense of connecting with others, sense of belonging, humbleness, authentic, friendliness. The purpose of the Las Vegas Enforcers is to make a difference in the communities that support them. They want to be a restorative, friendly, inclusive, growing with surrounding around them, and heavy in the community. The enforcers are trying to create connections in communities to not only get kids more active, but actually making a difference with adults as well. Most of the time when people think about making a difference, the first thing that they think of are kids. And there's nothing wrong with kids. We love kids. We, of course, want to make a difference with kids, but we also tend to forget about there are also adults here. Like, they count as well. They are human beings. They have feelings too, and we have things for them as well. From there, we have the theme, which is restoration. The onlyness statement, which is the Las Vegas Enforcers, is the only ECHL hockey organization in the city of Las Vegas that provides a connection to the communities, holds the highest ECHL winning percentage, 6 other ECHL records, community-oriented alternative to gambling, and active, fast-paced sport to hockey fans through team affiliation, and a sense of belonging to being a part of a team's fan base. What the brand personality is inclusive, competitive, and budget-friendly. It is not restrictive or closed off. They want to be open, and they want others to join in. From there, we have the tagline, which is restoring the community with the heart of the enforcers, and the positioning statement. So the positioning statement is sort of like a way to kind of put it in your shoes. So say you made the plans to go to a baseball game with your kids that day for family bonding time. However, you didn't plan on a heavy downpour expected for this afternoon. While trying to find something else budget-friendly for your family outing, you hear that the Las Vegas Enforcers will be playing at the same time as the canceled baseball game. You check the tickets online and find out that they are much cheaper than you expected and that you have nothing to lose. By the end of the game, you realize that your kids want to play on the ice and are now invested in a new sport. This becomes a regular occurrence for your family and creates a friendly banner and competitiveness in your home. So with that being said, it kind of gives you it kind of gives you just kind of a little insight of what could happen, what the Las Vegas Enforcers could offer to you and your family. And from there, we have my typographic choices and color palette. Although I only used a few of them, but I stick to using some of the color palette when I was doing my vision board and style guide and look and feel. I chose the Bench 9 regular because it's a condensed non-serif font that isn't heavy, it's pretty light. With that being said, it's very versatile, so it gives it a lot of other options and different opportunities, and it doesn't overpower the logo. So thank you so much for listening to my video rationale, and I hope that you enjoyed it and have a good day. Thank you.